My name is Rebecca, and the first time I saw my own funeral, I was sitting at my kitchen table drinking coffee. My niece Anna had sent me a shaky video from inside a community hall. At the front of the room stood a framed photograph of me surrounded by white flowers. My mother wore black. My brother Paul stood behind a microphone and spoke about losing me to bitterness. The problem was simple. I was alive, living 2 towns away, and Anna had spoken to me that same morning. I was 52 when it happened. For 6 months, I had been deliberately distant from my mother, Evelyn. After decades of smaller wounds, everyone else insisted on calling family misunderstandings. She opened my mail, shared private information, and repeatedly humiliated my daughter. Every time I confronted her, she rewrote the story until she became the injured one. Paul always defended her because agreeing with our mother kept his own life comfortable. The final break came when my adult daughter shared something deeply painful with the family and asked for privacy. Evelyn told several relatives within a day. When challenged, she accused my daughter of dividing the family. I wrote my mother a calm letter explaining that I needed indefinite distance, then blocked her number. I did not disappear. I remained in contact with cousins, family friends, and Anna. But Evelyn told people therapy had manipulated me and that I had abandoned my own blood. I believed silence would eventually let the drama burn itself out. Instead, my silence gave her enough space to stage a public funeral for the daughter she claimed she had lost while I was still alive. The invitations called it a service for the daughter we lost while she still walks the earth. Some guests genuinely believed I had died. Others understood it as a symbolic memorial for our estrangement. My photograph had been taken from a private family album. The slideshow included childhood pictures of my daughter, even though she had repeatedly asked never to have her private life discussed publicly. In Anna's video, Paul told the room that resentment had consumed me. Then my mother placed one hand on my framed photograph and announced that she forgave me. I watched the screen in disbelief. They had transformed my boundary into a death and themselves into grieving survivors. But the cruelest part appeared beneath the video. There was a donation link. The fundraising page used my full legal name, my photograph, and a description suggesting I was suffering from a serious mental health crisis. It claimed money would be used for family counseling, travel expenses for reunification, and educational support for my daughter's children. My daughter does not have children. Within 2 days, the page had collected more than $12,000. Several donors believed I was missing or medically incapacitated. One former coworker even contacted the police and requested a wellness check. That was when the fake funeral stopped being only emotional cruelty. My image and identity were being used to collect money through false claims. I saved screenshots, downloaded the video, and preserved the fundraising page before contacting an attorney. When the police arrived, I cooperated fully. Their report officially stated that I was alive, safe, mentally competent, and voluntarily estranged from certain relatives. For the first time, there was a formal record of the truth that did not depend on my mother's version of events. My attorney advised me not to argue online. I posted one short public statement explaining that I was alive and safe, that I had not authorized any memorial or fundraiser, and that all claims suggesting I was missing or incapacitated were false. I did not reveal family secrets or attack anyone. I wanted clarity, not another performance. The statement spread faster than the memorial. Donors immediately began demanding refunds, and the platform froze the remaining money. Paul accused me of humiliating our mother during her grief. I told him grief usually follows an actual loss. Our mother had staged a loss because she could not tolerate a living daughter who had finally said no. After that, every communication went through lawyers. Anna paid the highest personal price for helping me. She was 20 and still living with Paul. He called her disloyal, demanded access to her phone, and blamed her for destroying the family. Evelyn told her she had betrayed everyone by sending me the video. I offered Anna a place to stay, but I did not pressure her. I wanted to give her a choice, not replace one controlling family member with another. After her semester ended, Anna moved out. She later told investigators that Paul had planned the fundraiser and knew the claims were false. Emails also showed Evelyn had approved the campaign wording and suggested references to mental illness because people might donate more generously. Seeing those words in writing ended the last piece of doubt I still carried about reconciliation. Most donations were eventually refunded. Some money had already been spent on the hall, catering, and payments to Paul's personal credit card. The state attorney general's office opened an investigation. Paul entered a restitution agreement and paid a civil penalty. The community hall even introduced a new rule requiring proof of death before hosting future memorial fundraisers. Some relatives said involving lawyers was too extreme. They focused on the amount of money instead of the way it had been collected. I asked them how much someone should be allowed to raise by publicly claiming that a living woman was broken, missing, and unable to speak for herself. None of them answered. After the public crisis ended, the quieter grief began. I mourned the mother I had hoped would eventually choose relationship over control. I grieved the family photographs that had become props, and the years my daughter believed peace required accepting disrespect. I finally understood that estrangement was not one dramatic decision. It was the result of many failed attempts to repair the same wound. On my 53rd birthday, Anna arranged a small dinner. There were tacos, mismatched chairs, my daughter's loud laugh, and a cake leaning slightly to one side. Before we ate, Anna raised her glass and said, "To people being allowed to be alive in their own story." That sentence repaired something inside me no legal victory ever could. Evelyn and Paul remain blocked. Through an attorney, my mother occasionally requests family counseling, but every request describes reconciliation as my responsibility and never acknowledges the fundraiser, the false claims, or my daughter's stolen privacy. I decline every time. I learned that forgiveness and reconciliation are not the same thing. Forgiveness can remain private. Reconciliation requires honesty, accountability, and time. Some families would rather declare you lost than admit you walked away for clear reasons. But love does not require you to disappear. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Unheard Drama Stories for more emotional family dramas where hidden truths finally get a voice.